Hello and happy Tuesday. My name is Wendy Lee and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. And I'm super excited that you're joining me today in my CreativeLeeYours studio to have a little bit of paper crafting fun. So what are we making today? I have a little framed butterfly gift card / money holder for you. Let's see if I can get that angle right so you can see it. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Love this little frame. And then this will open up right here. And then we'll show the inside where you can slide in a little bit of money or you can put in a gift holder. Super cool, right? So I participated in a mystery stamping at an event this weekend, and this was the layout we did. So I thought I would show it to you today. So, all right, are you ready to get started? Yay! Let me switch the camera. Perfect. And fix that hopefully a little bit on that lighting, maybe. All right, so I'm going to switch over and let's see if we are in the right place, right? That's always good. So I did switch the camera over. Yes, perfect. All right. So while I am checking to make sure that we are in the correct place, which I think we are. Oh, good. I see a couple of you. Hey, Mary. Hey, Elise. So glad you guys are here. Perfect. 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 All right. So we're featuring 2 bundles for this card today. So the first one is brand new out of the annual catalog. Sorry about the glare from my light. It's the color and contour bundle. So we're going to use a sentiment from this and these awesome dies to create our little frame. All right. And then I also pulled in the Butterfly Brilliance. So this is also a new bundle that's in the annual catalog, although we got to order it a month early, which was awesome. And it's got these fabulous dies. So this is actually a background stamp. So it stamps all of this all in one. So I'm going to show you that as well as we create this beautiful, beautiful card. So let me open this up so you can see what it looks like. So if I untie the side, love it when it has a tie closure, right? And then you open it up. Here is your little pocket right here that you can slide in some money or a gift card. How nice is that? You could even use this as a pocket card and just slide in another layer to put a note in. I'm also going to show you today how to change the die to be the length that you want it to be. So this particular sentiment was cut out using this die here. So I'm going to show you how I did that. All right. Perfect. Let's get started with our card base. Hey, Jean, so glad you're here. All right, so I'm going to pull in my Simply Scored, and hopefully you guys can see this. And I have already placed a marker at 3.5 and 7 3/4. So I'm going to start with my card base. So this is 11 inches by 5.5. So it's a little bigger piece so that we can make this pocket. And then I'm going to score this at my 3.5 and 7 3/4. All right. Now, could you use your trimmer to do this? Why, yes, you could. When I'm doing multiple score lines or if I'm making multiples of the same project, I prefer to pull out my Simply Scored. I find it just a little bit easier, right? All right. So let's fold these along the score lines and give it a nice, good crease. Oh, good. I'm glad you like this one, Jean. It's fun. I think it's fun. A little different. All right, so that's our card base where that's going to fold over. And we're just going to adhere those sides closed. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring in some tear and tape. If I can find it, there it is. Now you could use Seal Plus or liquid glue or your regular Stampin' Seal if you'd like. I decided to use tear and tape just because I wanted that extra security because, you know, as you pull things in and out of a pocket, sometimes it needs that extra security, right? All right. So when you use tear and tape, make sure you rub it really good with your bone folder. It is pressure sensitized. And basically that means is that you want the glue to stick to cardstock, right? And not this backing paper. And so I find it so much easier to get the backing paper off if I run that bone folder on there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just run that over one more time. So that's nice and secure. Yay. All right. So I am using some prints and I forgot to make my chart. Oh, poo. I'll make sure I have it for the next time. So I am using some prints out of the new hand penned designer series paper pack. It's got some really nice springy florals in it and some nice other patterns as well. So I like this little leafy pattern, which is actually the back side of that print there. But it's really soft and pretty, and it just reminds me of spring. So very, very, very pretty. So even if that sweet doesn't appeal to you, you might consider getting the designer series paper. I do want to remind you that the 13th, which is just in 2 days, that's Thursday, is the last day to opt in for my paper and ribbon share. So if you want a sampling of all of these fabulous papers, which there are so many of them, and or ribbons, both is what I like, then you definitely want to sign up for the share before the registration closes. So let's go ahead and add this to the front pocket with some Stampin' Seal. And I'm literally just going to center it. Now, I could have put this on here before I folded the pocket over, but I felt like my risk was pretty low in getting that paper on there correctly. All right. So then the front. Oh, my nails. Yeah. So it's so funny. I think Mary Cook had commented on my nails last week. So last weekend I had our neighborhood, we had a couple of us went and had a girls' time at the nail salon. And so I got something out of the ordinary for me. I love purple. If you guys don't already know, I love purple. I don't normally get purple nails, but I decided to try something different. So, I'm just going with it. All right. So I'm going to adhere this to the front. Again, just with Stampin' Seal, and I'm going flat. Can you guys even imagine? I'm putting things on there flat. Crazy, right? All right, let's do our sentiment inside before we wrap our ribbon around. That way we can get that down and then close it, and then I don't have to untie my pretty bow after I tie it, right? All right, so let me bring in the basic gray ink pad and the sentiment that I'm going to use. And then I think my paper is a 2 by 2.5. It's a scrap paper. It doesn't really matter as long as it's big enough to use, right? So I'm just going to stamp this. I love the font in this stamp set. It's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? Love it. Thank you for everything. What a perfect card. All righty. So let me get out my baby boss so I can show you. I thought I would just explain this, but then I thought, I probably have to show you what I'm talking about here, because this can be a little bit tricky to do. So I'm going to get my plates. All right, so following my directions, I have my plate 1 and plate 2. So here's plate 1 and here's plate 2, which you can see is all cut up already. And we'll slide that in. And then I'm going to pull that die back in. All right, so one thing about this particular die in that set is that this line here actually cuts. So it puts a slit in there, which is really cool because then you can string ribbon and all that fun stuff. But when we're doing this, we need to be careful that we don't cut all the way down. Hey, Tammy, so glad you're here today. So I'm going to place this on where I want it, right? And then when I put my plate down, I want to offset this. So I want to cut the upper section, but I don't want to cut down towards the bottom yet because I'm going to change the size of my layer. And if I go ahead and cut it all the way down, that slit is going to cut through. Hopefully that makes some sense. So let me go ahead and take this out so I can show you what I'm doing. So I'm placing this, maybe I can do it like this. I don't like to use washi tape on my dies and plates, but without a magnetic tray, if you need some washi tape, put some washi tape on there. I just don't like to do it. It makes everything sticky, even though washi tape's supposed to come right off. All right, so now I'm going to slide this in to the embossing machine, die cut and embossing machine, right? And do my little cranky. Sorry, it's going to wiggle my table a little bit here. And it might spit out the other end. Sometimes when it comes off the plate, it goes flying. Oh, not too bad. Made a terrible noise, didn't it? All right. So now when I take that off, you're going to see it's partially cut it, right? Well, I'm going to go ahead and just tear these sides away because I want to see where this scallop is. Because when I put this die on the other end, right, that I need it that long, I want to flip it over and I want to make sure the scallop is back in the same place. Otherwise you get some really wonky looking things. Now that might be a little closer than I want it. So let's go down one more scallop. Kind of have to pick. Oh, I went the wrong way. There we go. That's going to turn out better, I think. It's a little more rectangular, but I think that's fine. All right, so this is the tricky part with this, and where it might be handy to have washi tape, because you don't want that to move on you, right? So I'm going to place that there. And again, I only want to cut this bottom end. I don't want to cut up here again, or it's going to cut those sides off. I hope this makes sense. Once you have these dies, you'll totally get it. Or you have these dies and you try it once, then you'll totally get it, right? Oh, let's see if I can get that shooting out. There we go. All right. And hopefully it turned out pretty decent. Not bad. You can see where I overlapped just a smidge. That's not bad. I've got a prettier one that I did earlier that I used the magnet plate for, and a little more square. But I think both are really pretty. I don't think it really matters which way you go. All right, let's put this bad boy away because we are done with our little mini emboss machine. So cute. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, Mary Cook, glad you're here. Hey, Jennifer. So glad you guys are jumping in with me today. Blah, I can't speak. All right, so do you like the rectangular one or more the square one? Does it really matter? I don't know if it really matters. I like them both. It just depends on which one we want to use. I know there's quite a delay, so you'll answer me and it'll already be past time. All right, so I'll wait for a response, but go ahead and tell you guys, if you like fun folds and you're not one of my Forget Me Not Club members or on my Diamonds team, because they get it for free, yay. But if you're not and you love fun folds, I'd love for you to join my card club. We do fabulous fun folds and techniques every month. Hey, Miss Glenda, so glad you're joining in today. So anyway, if you do like them, I'd love to have you join me. It's so much fun. I'm going to go ahead and put this square one down. I'm not seeing any comments, which is totally fine, but I'm going to go ahead and just put this down just so you guys don't have to wait on me. All right. Now watch, you guys will come back and tell me you wanted the rectangle one, but that's okay too. I think I'm going to place it kind of close here. And now I could have checked that because you don't want it sticking out past this front flap. So I did okay there. All right, next let's bring in our ribbon. So I'm using this Just Jade gingham ribbon. I'm so glad this one carried over. This is from the, I think it's the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. And I'm using about 18 inches, but I like to leave it on the spool and tie it and then just be happy with whatever I end up with. But if you're cutting, yes, it's about 18 inches. So let me get my little bow here. Maybe my hands are being a little finicky today. That happens sometimes. Oh, I'm probably not even in camera, am I? I hope you guys can see me. I like to keep pulling things towards me as I'm working. Do you guys do that too? All right, I think I'll stop messing with that. I'm pretty happy with that bow. I'm going to clip that off. Okay. And then the cool thing is I can just slide this over. I don't have to worry that I've tied it in the middle of the card. And I can kind of place it wherever I want to place it, because I'm going to cover it up with that butterfly. Now you could tack this down if you want to, so that when you untie, you know, it's not going to fall out. I did not do that on my original sample, but you totally could do that if you wanted to tack it down. This would be the time to do it once you've got your bow placed where you want. Now you want to be careful that you don't get too crazy with it, because you need to be able to untie it and open it up. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's do our frame next. So to create the frame, and I've already cut this, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So I'm going to slide that over. So I've got a piece, I've just got a scrap of Just Jade cardstock, and I used this second largest die right here. Obviously you got to put it blade side down, right? And laid that down. And then I also pulled in my stitched rectangles. And if I'm correct in that, I think it was the fourth. No, that one's not. Fourth smallest. Let me grab the fourth smallest one. and then slid that in there as well. And you can center those and run them both through at the same time, and you get a nice wide frame. Not too crazy wide, but it's a good, what, 3/8 of an inch? So nice and substantial there. And so this is what we're going to put on the front of our card. Now, you can slide it up, you can slide it down, you can center it. It's not the same height as the card. So I'm going to slide mine up a little bit. I might bring my ribbon up just a smidge too. This is the time you have to decide where all this is going to play out, right? Because once you put this down, it might not slide anymore. It might not. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put foam adhesive strips on the back of my frame. Oh, and I didn't grab any. Of course, that would make life too easy. Let's see if I can grab some real quick. Oh, none in that bin. Let me grab across the table. There we go. I keep stealing stuff. Oh, and now I look down. I had them just below the table. Too funny. Alrighty, so let's make sure I'm on the back of this. I am. And I'm just going to lay some of this out. Now, you don't have to frame it. Oh, thank you, Mary. I'm glad you like my nails. Yeah, they still look pretty good. They haven't grown out hardly at all. So we leave for vacation later this week. So next week I have a recorded video for you guys. So if I can go live to remind you that it's coming, I will. But I don't know what my situation's gonna be. But we leave for vacation, but I didn't forget about you. I do have a video for you guys. A delicious one, actually. Ha ha ha. Maybe you'll figure out what I used. But yeah, so I thought I was going to have to get them done before I go, and they don't seem to have grown out that much, and the paint's not lifting yet. So, but you know, as soon as I get on that airplane, what's going to happen is my nails are going to feel like they're peeling up. So we'll just deal with it the best we can. All right, popping that right on here. So of course, you guys know the vacation I'm going on is the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. And I'm only going because of all of you. Because you guys are so awesome and supporting me in my business. So I earned that trip. So I'm super excited to be going. All right, I'm going to slide this aside. We're going to bring in the butterfly next. So because this is a background stamp, let's see if I can get that in camera so you can actually see the whole thing. So since this is a background stamp and it's one big stamp, hopefully you've seen that before, right? It's just one giant stamp. So I find it so much easier to use the Stamparatus with this because it's just a little hard for me to grip. So I've got a scrap of paper, and of course I've used this piece before. So I'm just going to lay this down about where the butterfly that I want is. Now you could stamp a whole sheet at once and die cut them all at one time. And that would be fine because then you can have a little bucket on your table where you've got all these little already pre-cut butterflies that you can use anytime you want, which would be cool as well. So just ink that up with basic gray ink. And I'm going to flip that over. And then I want to make sure I press on the butterfly I want, right? It's going to shake the table a little bit. I apologize. All right. Yay! It's fabulous. So now I can take this, let's put this out of our way, and bring back in those fabulous dies. So this die set has the open butterflies as well as the individual detail butterflies. But you can take this giant, so this die lines right up to that whole stamp, so you can cut them all at one time. But I can just line this up, right? Take that to my die cutting machine and cut that out. So we're going to do that. Perfect. So now I'm ready to color my butterfly. So I decided to just use some Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends. So I'm using the light and the dark. So I like to use the bowl tip or the smaller tip versus the brush stroke tip. And I'm going to just lay in a little bit of dark color here and there. So let's go along this edge. I'm kind of making it up as I go. There's not a right and wrong. I don't think there may be technically a right and wrong to how a butterfly is supposed to be colored. But since I don't really know, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to make it whatever I want to make it. All right, and we'll just do a little scribble here. And then I want a little bit of dark up here. All right, let's repeat that on the other side, more or less the same thing. Again, I'm just scribbling in a little bit of that dark. And then I'll go back with the light and show you how I blend it. Do you guys love the blends? Do you use them often? I do like them. All right, so now I'm going to take the light and I'm just going to go over the top and I'm going to fill in the rest of the color. But the key really to blending this is to overlap, right? So you got to overlap where you did that dark to kind of smooth out that line a little bit. I find a larger image is actually a little easier to blend than a smaller detailed image. But you can do either. And again, you can use the brush tip if you prefer the brush tip. I just like the bowl tip a little bit better. I might use the brush tip to fill in the first layer of color. But see, I'm just overlapping right on that line to fuzzy that out a little bit. So we could take a long time and color that, or we could just do it really quickly. However you want to go about it. If it's relaxing, take your time, enjoy it. If it causes you stress, hurry through it, right? Or use a different coloring technique that doesn't cause you stress. Now, because I used the gray ink, so really Memento Black is what's intended to be used with Stampin' Blends, because it's made to work with the alcohol markers. So what you might find, and I'm seeing a little bit here, doesn't bother me actually, but what you might find is if you stamp in another color, like I did the basic gray, you might get a little bit of a gray pull up on it. It might smear in a little bit. I'm having pretty good luck with this. I don't think it's looking bad at all. But just be aware that if you use blends with other ink colors, that it might blend the ink color out. So pretty, I love it. Yay. All right, let's add a little bling. Did my paper color change? No, it's still white. My lighting might be what's doing it. Sometimes my camera will correct, I guess you could say, trying to fix me. So it's still white. All right, so now I'm going to add a little shimmer with some Wink of Stella. Now, if your Stella is not, it looks like mine's not coming out very much. So if it's not coming out, I highly recommend, if you're going to squeeze it over a silicone mat. And mine might be empty. But if you squeeze it over the silicone mat, then if it oozes on you, which has happened to me many a time, then you don't end up with a pool on your project. You have a pool on your silicone mat. This one might be almost dead. Doesn't seem to be oozing, or even though it sounded like it had lots in it still. I see it getting ready to ooze. So there's some in there. Maybe I could get it to ooze and I can pick that up. Maybe it really is just empty. Well, I'm going to try to put what I can on this butterfly. I like lots of shimmer. So if I can get it, oh yeah, there's some. I squeezed out some. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that on camera in the live. It looks really nice here. Oh, on his body. And I don't feel like you have to be super neat with this. You can, but I'm just kind of scribbling all over. So hopefully you can see a little bit of that shimmer on there. Looks like I need a new Stella. All right. Let's go ahead and pop this butterfly on this card front here. So I'm going to lay it. I want to cover the ribbon that's in the center of the frame, right? And it looks like I've tacked my ribbon down. It's not sliding anymore. I tacked it in the frame. And I want to put dimensionals so that this pops up on the frame. You know, you don't have to do that. You could leave it flat if you'd like to. But what's the fun in that? All right, so I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one on this point of this wing. Right, so I'm just kind of checking to see where I might put it. Looks like I could put one down here. And it's going to land on the frame. And then maybe one right in here. All right, that's what I'm going to go with. And hopefully I hit the frame as I put it down for real. All right. And I like it hanging off a little bit. I think that's kind of fun. You just need to make sure that it stays in the frame of your card. Otherwise, you won't be able to put it in an envelope. All right, one last thing. Let's add a little bit more bling. We'll add a few Opal Rounds. Do you guys love these? I love the Opal Rounds. So much fun. Okay. Let's just pop on a few of these. They're nice and subtle, but they add a nice little bling. I'll put one down here too. Cute, 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 cute. Did you guys see I posted bingo? So I know some of you guys like to join me for online bingo. And if you have never joined before, it's a lot of fun. Posted that just this week. I got a lot of stuff going on, right? So we got our escape registration. Let me tie this one again. I'll tie this one close and then we can look at both the finished cards together. But yeah, we've got the ribbon and paper share due this week if you want to participate in that. I've got online bingo posted. Let's see, my In Color Club is posted. And the Stampin' Escape is posted. Dana and I have started designing so many exciting things. So many, so many. And you guys know there's a promotion going on to join my team. You can get an extra $30 in free stuff. So you get $155 for your $99 starter kit and free shipping. So awesome. And there's a host special where if you spend $250 or more or have a party where there's $250 or more spent, you get an extra, I think it's $25 in free product there as well. So lots of fun things going on. All right, I hope you guys love these. I think it would be fabulous in pretty much every other print that's also in this designer paper pack, or really any of our paper packs. They're all gorgeous, but you know, you decide and pick the ones that speak to you. All right, I hope you guys love this. If you enjoyed the content, please share it with your crafty friends. If you're watching on replay, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will catch you all next Tuesday via recording though. But I'll be with you in spirit. I might try to pop in though and say hello. All right, thanks so much. Hope you have a fabulous, fabulous week. Bye for now.